This man had an extraordinary experience where he felt he met Jesus as he was near death. But something incredible happened. It's a story about life after death, from being close to dying to experiencing heaven and returning. A man from Seattle, who worked as a supervisor in the juvenile probation department in King County, went through a life-changing event on May 5, 2006. Known for his commitment to helping young people, he often said he would work until the day he died, a statement that proved true in an unexpected way. On that day, he developed a kidney stone on his right side. Having experienced them before, he thought he could handle the pain, but this time it was different. When the pain wouldn't go away, he went to the emergency room. He expected to receive morphine and usual pain treatment, but was surprised to learn he also had a kidney infection. Doctors gave him antibiotics and scheduled surgery to break up the stones. The surgery went well, but the antibiotics didn't work as expected. When the stones were broken up, the infection spread to his bloodstream, causing sepsis and multiple organ failure. He was clinically dead for an hour and 45 minutes. During this time, as a Christian, he felt at peace, thinking he was going to heaven. He described the experience as his soul leaving his body, moving quickly through the hospital, sky, and even outer space. He felt a verse from the Bible come alive. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. When he reached heaven, he felt total peace and belonging, as if everything there welcomed him, from the trees to the flowers. More than anything, he wanted to meet Jesus face to face. He walked through a forest where the trees moved aside, revealing a clearing where he saw Jesus. In that moment, a lifelong wish was fulfilled. Overwhelmed with gratitude, he fell to his knees and looked at Jesus' feet, thanking him over and over. He realized he was in heaven only because of Jesus' sacrifice. When he looked up, he felt an incredible love radiating from Jesus. When their eyes met, Jesus looked at him with such deep, unconditional love, as if he had never been away. Jesus' eyes held an endless depth of love and forgiveness, something he had never felt before. It was overwhelming, and he understood that when Jesus says he forgives, he truly forgets. The Bible talks about this in Hebrews, chapters 8 and 10, and now he was experiencing it for himself. He felt an eternal sense of being. Though his body had died, he realized that his true self would live on forever. Then, Jesus looked at him and said, "No, it's not your time. Go back." The words were so clear and direct. Surprisingly, he was at peace with it. Instead of walking back through the forest, he found himself floating above it. It wasn't exactly flying, it was more like just being wherever he wanted. When he reached the spot where he knew he'd be leaving, there wasn't a door or anything physical, just a feeling that the next step would take him back to Earth. Though his body wasn't ready yet, he was glad to have a little more time in heaven. Turning back to the forest, he sensed Jesus on the other side. Then he noticed something incredible. Off to the left, creation appeared as if alive. The mountains moved like waves, vibrant and full of life, and he felt like he could stay and experience it forever. Eventually, he returned to Jesus from a different angle. He bowed before him again, and Jesus' light, warm and filled with love, wrapped around him, bringing a deep sense of peace. Jesus spoke again, "No, it's not your time. Go back." Once more, he soared over the trees, reaching the boundary where he'd re-enter his body. Still, his body wasn't ready, so he explored further. This time, he went to the right and saw beautiful blue waters and rivers full of life. The colors were richer than anything on earth. When he returned to Jesus once more, he saw his family. His grandmother Mary at the front with generations of relatives. Their joy and love were so strong, a pure picture of heavenly connections. Seeing his family so happy and united brought a deep realization. They had been there all along, but now he truly focused on them and felt an indescribable bond. Then, with those same loving eyes, Jesus told him once more, "No, it's not your time. Go back." If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click on the Super Thanks button below. Your support not only helps us but also furthers our mission to share the transformative journey of Jesus. All of creation seemed to step aside, as if recognizing he was being spoken to. He felt like a soldier receiving an order, ready to follow. As he was about to leave, his grandmother's words echoed in his heart. "Bring as many of us back with you as you can." Her words struck a deep chord, reminding him of the importance of sharing heaven's love and reality. When he returned to his body, he felt a mix of emotions. He opened his eyes to see the medical team, stunned as his heart monitor beeped again. The peace of heaven contrasted sharply with the chaotic hospital room. Physically, he was weak and needed time to heal, but he felt spiritually renewed. His experience changed his life completely. He now lives with a deep sense of purpose, knowing that our time here is brief and every moment matters. He aims to love others deeply and spread God's love, treasuring each relationship with a new appreciation. In heaven, he saw animals and other beings, vibrant and full of life, which made his experience even more incredible. The memory of heaven stayed with him, clear and powerful. He was amazed by the many animals he saw there, living seamlessly within the heavenly landscape. There were familiar animals from Earth and others he had never seen before, each with a unique place, living in perfect harmony with each other and their surroundings. This sight showed him that God's care extends to all of creation, not just humans. Though he focused mainly on Jesus and his family, he couldn't miss the animals' joyful presence, as if they were praising God in their own way, adding to heaven's music of harmony. Heaven's beauty was beyond anything on earth, colors more vibrant than he'd ever seen and light that filled everything. The place was warm and welcoming, with trees, flowers, and even non-living objects seeming to have a life of their own. Everything existed in perfect harmony, no decay, no flaws. It was a beauty beyond words. One of the most amazing parts of his experience was when Jesus shared knowledge directly with his mind or spirit. It wasn't through words. He just suddenly understood things about God, heaven, and life in a way he never had before. Although some of this understanding faded when he returned to his body, the essence of it stayed with him, deeply changing how he saw the world. One powerful insight was a greater awareness of God's love, which felt far more profound than he had ever imagined. He also learned about eternity, the importance of choices on earth, and the reality of spiritual battles. While it was hard to fully grasp these ideas, he knew they were real. He became more aware of spiritual forces around us, both good and bad, which emphasized the importance of prayer and putting on the armor of God, as described in the Bible. His view on death changed completely. He no longer feared it, but saw it as a beautiful transition. This didn't mean he was in a rush to leave. He understood God had a purpose for him on earth, and he was determined to fulfill it. Still, the thought of returning to heaven one day filled him with peace. Time on earth felt short compared to the endless present of heaven, making life's challenges seem small. Seeing unexpected people in heaven gave him a new perspective on salvation. He realized that God's grace and mercy go beyond human understanding. Salvation isn't about strict rules. It's about accepting Jesus and his sacrifice. He learned not to judge others' spiritual journeys, knowing only God sees a person's heart. After a message from his grandmother in heaven to bring as many back as you can, he felt a strong responsibility to share his story and help others know about God's love and heaven. Every day became a chance to live with the awareness that earthly choices have eternal significance. His relationships with others changed as he began to live out this understanding in a new way. He began to see everyone as deeply loved by God, which made him more patient, kind, and eager to share the love he had experienced. He also started to value family relationships more, understanding their importance both in this life and in eternity. The feeling of being welcomed in heaven was unmatched. On earth, he often felt out of place, but in heaven, those feelings disappeared completely. Everything around him made him feel he truly belonged. This powerful sense of love and acceptance left a lasting impact on him. His view of the body changed, too. He realized that while physical bodies matter, they are temporary, housing eternal spirits. In heaven, he felt more like his true self, which made him less concerned with physical appearance and more focused on his spirit. Though he was absorbed in his own experience, he sensed that everyone in heaven shared the same joy, peace, and love, united in worship and love for God. Returning to earth was difficult. Heaven's beauty made him want to stay, but he felt a divine purpose in coming back, which gave him peace. He now sees his life on earth as a mission to share his heavenly experience and help others prepare for eternity. Worship became more meaningful to him. It was like being filled with pure joy and love. This understanding made him approach worship on earth with new excitement and awareness. His attitude toward work and daily activities also shifted. He saw every task as a chance to bring a bit of heaven to earth, doing them with the love and joy he felt in heaven. This made him more purposeful with his time and resources. He gained a new understanding of prayer, seeing it as a vital link between heaven and earth. While he didn't see specific prayers being answered, he felt that God was closely involved in earthly lives, deepening his respect for prayer. He also saw angels in heaven and understood their purpose. They were always engaged in worship and fulfilling God's will, giving him a greater appreciation for the unseen spiritual world. His experience also changed how he interacted with non-believers. He felt a stronger urge to share his faith but approached it with patience and love, respecting everyone's unique journey. He wanted to invite others to faith, not force them. He gained insights into free will and God's plan, understanding that they work together in ways we may not fully understand. God's love allows real choices, even if they lead to pain, but he works to bring good out of every situation. Though he didn't encounter evil in heaven, the love and goodness he felt there made him see more clearly the darkness on earth, reminding him of the need to spread God's light. His experience removed any fear of death. Now, he sees death as a transition to something better, far more beautiful and welcoming than we can imagine. While he's not in a hurry to leave this life, he looks forward to his transition with joy, knowing what's waiting for him. His main message is that God's love is beyond all understanding. Heaven is real, more beautiful than we can picture, and our choices on earth truly matter forever. The key isn't about perfection or rules, but having a relationship with Jesus. In the end, he realized that his experience was meaningful, but the main story is God's love for everyone. He hopes his story encourages others to seek God and live with a view of eternity. It's a story that brings reflection on life, death, and what comes next. If you've made it this far, you might qualify for our membership, so listen closely. This is a special area where we share videos that aren't available to the general public. You'll see everything first and learn truths we can't share elsewhere. If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click the Super Thanks button below. Your support isn't just a donation, it's a blessing that helps us continue our mission to share Jesus' transformative journey. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.